out to Jackal, man. Jackal Cookies. They've been rocking for a long time, man.
Yes, baby.
They've been rocking for a long time.
Real media, baby.
Yes, top of the evening, you know the vibes. Rocking out with yours truly, Showtime Sizzle. I am the sauce. We're gonna unpack some things tonight. But you know me, first I wanna get this out and share this. Man, wonderful day today as far as in my community, neighborhood. You know, we had the Gala Food Community Appreciation Day where, you know, shout out to my Dominicans, que lo que, mi gente. You know, we give back to the community as far as, you know, they have the face painting for the kids, a lot of products are given away and they feed, you know, hot dogs, hamburgers, pollo frito. We do it up, man, for the community. But shout out to all the frontliners that were out there, because without y'all, I wouldn't have been able to enjoy the Bud Crawford appreciation. You know, I enjoyed that. You know why? I'm gonna share why I enjoyed that in a second. You know, and salute to those that are out there, like the Boxing Voice, Channel 3 News, I think it was. I was watching a lot of different YouTube channels that were actually on deck giving us that content. I also might be putting a little video together too, because you know I do have people out there as well, and they were sending me clips. But like I said, I'll probably put my stuff together later on tonight or tomorrow, depending on, you know, I get to it, because, you know, it's a lot to unpack. A lot to unpack. I want to, you know, speak upon a couple of things tonight. You know, the AJ fight just went off. I got a chance to watch that. Then I ran out, got a little quick bite to eat. You know, I was listening to Combat, and Combat made me go get some calamari. God damn it. Yeah. I wasn't even thinking about it. I'm watching it. I'm listening to my guy Combat, and he was talking about the calamari. I said, you know what? Why don't I go get a nice little side order of calamari? Because we do got some more fights coming on tonight. And that's what I ran out and did. And I was like, let me come on, keep the momentum going, because I want to say salute to Bruce Gas, first one in the building. But salute to everybody that is listening to the Source Experience. The numbers are going up. Whether, you know, you come in and you smash my like button or not. But the algorithm, when I check my statistics, the numbers are going up. So once again, I want to thank y'all for that. I also want to thank my guy WCS. I still got a couple more segments to slice and dice up, but he allowed me to speak with Rick Glacier and you know, ask some questions. You know, I remember, like, Combat has had that man on this channel many times, and I know. I always wanted to, you know, interview him as well and ask him different questions, being somebody that is fairly new to doing other things. And it was good to, you know, I know a lot of y'all don't like Rick, right? For various reasons. But unlike a lot of y'all, I see the things that he does do behind the scenes. And somebody such as myself, like I said, that is young, getting my feet wet, that have been a part of certain things behind the scenes. Like, it's always good to ask guys that have walked through those doors, that have more knowledge and stuff. So, you know, that was kind of cool for me, because it was cool to hear him speak about, you know, pretty much coordinating stuff behind the scenes for fighters, as he referred to with Paul Spadafora. You know, like, see, these are things that the typical YouTubers and guys that come on here that discuss boxing really overlook, because, like I said, these are intricate details. Like, and I want to pat myself on the back. Jihad Tucker sparred Boots Ennis. Remember that? That got a lot of notoriety. I was a part of that. You know, I set that up through my relationships with Pop Ennis. You know, I set that up. See, these are things that it's good to speak to guys like Rick Glazier about, because these are the type of things that he was talking about doing and does and stuff. So I just, you know, like I said, that the interview might have rubbed some people the wrong way, but hey, it is what it is. Like, kick rocks, you know. Like I said in my on my post on Twitter, man. Like, I embrace, because I've been, like I said, I've been doing this for a while now. I'm getting close to 15 years now on the media tip. But as far as like somebody moving and grooving behind the scenes now, I got about a good 3 to 4 years underneath my belt. But media-wise, close to 15 years, right? And when I posted today, I really meant that, man. Because when I first started out with this media thing, I was what I see a lot of these other guys do, right? Like, I'm a fan of boxing, and I'm a fan of particular fighters, but I always embraced a lot of fighters. Now my stance is more a lot, you know, edgy or raw, because I don't embrace a lot of fighters no more. I talk about a lot of fighters, but I don't embrace a lot of them, because I give back what the universe gives back to me. And I said something on a tweet that I put out, and I said, yes, he is a boxing insider. Bruce Gas, F what they talking about, bro. It's like they just hate the dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, people that hate somebody that they don't even know, never held a conversation with, but they hate on. But by far, the man had. If you broker a deal in boxing where a transaction is taking place, whether it is a fighter getting signed, or there's a fighter fighting on a fight card, whether it is even sparring, that is still a boxing business transaction. You are part of the business, man. Especially when you have receipts. You know, like, that man has receipts. Like you can look that up. Like what he said last night. But see, people get caught up in social media. The Joe Calzaghe, Roy Jones, he said he has credit as being the matchmaker on the bill. You can look that up for yourself, you know. But like I said, shout out to Rick Glazier, man. And more importantly, shout out to WCS, man. I remember being at work and WCS hit me up, because I was kind of down, bro. I was kind of down because I had something lined up with Bernie the Boxer. But like I said, when it comes to the internet, a lot of these dudes are on face value. Not saying Bernie, but dudes will make phone calls behind the scenes and tell people not to fuck with you. Real talk. They've been doing this forever. That's why I don't really respect a lot of the internet shit, because it's like, bro, you do the internet shit and try to trash people behind the scenes because you're an internet person. You're a person that bases what you have off of views, likes, and shit like that. Where I'm a people person. Like the little shorts that I posted today, I'm active in the community. I'm active in these gyms. You know, I think that speaks more volumes than this internet shit. Because like I said, and I'm gonna highlight my man Pop, right? Pop is trying to do his thing with the boxing shit, right? And last night he did a podcast where I guess him and his old lady, they were going through it, right? He had more traction in that than he does when he talks boxing. So that just let me know right there, like, motherfuckers ain't really about shit. Because how are you guys pulling up to support him now when he's not even talking about boxing, but he's going through some relationship shit? That's just what it is, man. Bruce Gas said he will talk to anyone and is a stand-up guy. Yeah, Rick is all right, man. Rick, listen, the things that I asked him yesterday, and I posted a couple of the videos about the Al Heyman, like, come on, man. He didn't even sugarcoat that. When I asked him what would have said about him? Like, yo, they said you got a vendetta against Al Heyman. You heard his answer. Called him an asshole. Said he's arrogant. And then he kept it all the way tall. He said when he does do something good for boxing, I give him his credit. Like, come on, you got to respect that. But like I said, when it comes to internet boxing, I think like YouTube has ruined the game because a lot of YouTubers, content creators, right? They think because they have audiences and listeners that validates them as a move maker in the game. Whereas Rick actually is a move maker, man, with the stats to show. But salute to WCS, man. Like I said, for allowing me to speak on that. Let's get to Bud Crawford. I want to give Bud Crawford his flowers. Like I said, shout out to all the frontliners. Like I said, the Boxing Voice, Ness, Sean Porter podcast, Channel 7 News, Letitia Crawford, all the people stuff that I was watching. I don't want to forget nobody. My homegirl who sent me some stuff, and I'm probably, like I said, I'm gonna put a video out. Just give me time. I had a lot going on. But man, it was good to see that from. Like I said, I got over 15 years as being media, just covering these guys and speaking with everybody that was pretty much getting their flowers from So Cold to Bernie the Boxer and Bomac and Saul and Red and even Bud. Because contrary to what you jealous ass boxer fans want to believe, not only have I had Bud grace my podcast, but I also have receipts of being in his presence, speaking with him off the record, and all that. So it's just good to see that, man. Because I remember the transition period when they was just dogging this, man. And to see the city come out and to see those dunks. Shout out to all my corn hustlers. Yes, corn hustlers, man. They had them swingers and them toys out there, man. Listen. If you guys know me, I'm a car guy myself, but it's just now that I have other responsibilities like my family. So it's a lot of things that I gave up, but I didn't give up because pretty soon I will be a retired municipality worker with a lot of time on my hand. And that's when I will definitely go back and start doing and enjoying a lot of the things that I used to enjoy before I was, who I am now. But I love to see the cars out there, the swingers, the big dunks, the spinners, and all that, man. That was dope to see that, and to see that Bud did that for his city. To see that. Shout out to Shakur Stevenson. I see Shakur on the float. What I want to highlight this, right? Like Bud, man, you got the sauce right now, brother. Do not lose your magic. I love the fact that you had the 2 G-Wagons. You came through like I gave you that name, Bud. You might not give me my credit, but I said it first. Bud Sided, Poseidon. You came through with the 2 G-Wagons. You didn't have the trotter, but you had the fishing net pulling the fisher boats with your team. Man, that was epic. The net. You're sticking with the script. I loved that. To see you come through with the fishing poles on the boat. You had your children with you. You seen your daughter, your sons, your nephew, your sisters. So it's like, man, and I want to say this for all you haters, right? For you guys are on here talking about, oh, you guys are vicariously living through Bud and all this. So what if people are? Because like I said, you have genuine supporters that know what a lot of you content creators spoke on this man and talked about this man. So now to see him get his flowers, to see him get his acknowledgement, not only is it a beautiful thing, it's a blessing. It is a blessing. And I just loved how you carried that out, bud. And I want to give you your flowers, man. I said in WCS's chat, man. I see Bomac was feeling good, you know what I'm saying? Bernie the boxer. Yeah, if you know Bernie's a talker, man. That's why I needed that interview, man. Bernie is great content. See, Bernie's the type of interview, right? He's like Rick Glacier for all you haters. These are the guys that talk are some of the best interviews if you know how to ask right questions and you're not in the way. Like what I notice about the content creators in the YTC, it's a lot of Diddy James ass niggas. They want to be all in the videos, all in the way. No, listen, as a journalist, UGK, that's what I call myself, the underground king. You ask the question and you let the interviewer flow. That what gives you a great interview. And if by God, me and WCS didn't pull that off yesterday with Rick Glacier, and like I said, it was so informative, man, to hear him speak about Paul Spotify and you know, the Al Heyman, to let him just go off on Al Heyman like that. And then he kept it tall. So how can you be mad at him for saying that? You know, he admitted to that he has a vendetta against the man. See, a lot of you guys worship Al Heyman and don't even know him. Don't even know the nigga. Real respectfully, y'all don't even know him. You know, and what I respect about Rick Glacier doesn't hold his tongue. See, a lot of you guys, and I'm not gonna throw people out there, but I can put Rick out there because Rick stated it. It's public record. But a lot of you others that I have spoken with behind the scenes feel the same way about Al Heyman, but you're too scared to say it or to speak on it. Whereas this man says it proudly, screams it, called him a coward. He hides. I'm a real person. He's an asshole. He's arrogant. Rick is not the only one that feels that way. Like I said, I have spoken with many people through my 15 years as covering the sport of boxing, as a media marketing agent now, thank you to Jihad Tucker, but as a field reporter. And these people a lot of people in the industry feel the same way. But unfortunately, they are under this type of movement. I want to thank Al Heyman. I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Al Heyman, so they can't say it, whereas Rick screams it proudly. Salute to WCS in the building. Bruce Gass, appreciate you, OG. Another OG in the game with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. He said I was talking to him once, and he had to take a call. He came back 5 minutes later and said he just made 10 grand. That's a move. Yeah, I want to speak about that. That's how it goes down. When you're in the game, it really does go down like that. It does. When you're brokering deals or you're a part of dealings, it does. It does. It really does go down like that. A simple phone call. Yo, shout out to my cousin Buddy McGirt, right? Yeah, Buddy. Brentwood Buddy. That's my cousin, right? When I interviewed Buddy a while ago, and we was talking about that, it really does go down like that, Bruce. And I'm glad you brought that up. I have Buddy try to give you guys insight, but you guys always overlook a lot of stuff that I give you. Where Buddy was talking about how promoters and managers move, right? And I'm going to use you and WCS since you guys are in my chat, right? So this is Showtime Shanewz production, right? You guys are the two fighters, right? I'm going to call you up first, Bruce, to say, hey, Bruce, you know, this is Shanewz, man. You know, your guy, man. I got this 6-round fight for you, man. You know, 6-round fight. I'm going to give you $10,000. You want the fight? You're going to say, you know what? Let me think about it. I'll call you back. I'm going to say, fine, cool. Don't worry about it, Bruce. Right? I'm going to call up my guy WCS now. He's another fighter. I'm going to say, hey, WCS, man, it's me, Showtime, Shanewz, man. I got this fight, man, 6-rounder. You want to take the fight? It's offering $8,000. I just told Bruce 10 racks. I told WCS 8. I already made $2,000 off the top. This is how the game is played. I have my cousin Buddy McGirt break that down to y'all, man. And y'all probably didn't even pay attention to that. But that's how shit really goes down. When one fighter turns a fight down and then they offer it to the next fighter, they already slim cut something off the top. Real talk. But hey, what do I know, right? What do I know? But I appreciate that, Bruce. Thank you for that insight as well. Salute to you. But yeah, let me get to the C+ performance of Anthony Joshua. And I want to say this, right? Because you guys over here always talk shit about me, say I'm a hater, I'm jealous. Derrick James heard the content that has been put out on him. Derrick James not only was more assertive in his instructions with this Anthony Joshua fight, but he was more on display, bobbing and weaving, slipping shots. He should have did that 2 weeks ago, July 29th with Earl Spence. But he did it with AJ. AJ still was getting rock'em sock'em robot, but he landed that big right hand, which he told Derrick James prior to going out in that 6th round before he ended it, he was having trouble landing it, and he finally landed it. But I think that big right hand saved the bag. It saved the bag because, you know, him and Wilder is still a big fight. And like I stated in WCS's chat when WCS was doing a play-by-play on it, I think Wilder stops him. As an expert of 11 fight camps, as an expert of being around heavyweight fighters from, you know, one of my cousin's stablemates, Chris Stallworth Nightmare, that used to beat up on Andrew Galata, a great heavyweight fighter with movement that could move and groove and stick and move. I just think that AJ, and one thing about Wilder's going to land that right hand. I just think AJ, from what I watched today with Hellenius, how he got his nose busted up, he's stiff, his head is right there, not too much level changer. Wilder lands, bro. I think Wilder lands that shit quick, the same way he landed on Hellenius. And we see another Dominic Brazil. We see a big, muscular, big, strong splendor of an Adonis laid out, stretched out, with feet convulsions, his legs shaking. Because Wilder's going to land that shot on him. And I was speaking with somebody behind the scenes, and I got 4 of y'all in here, and I made a phone call and a text and a couple of emails, and I said, man, from what I'm seeing, I think Jared Anderson, because Jared Anderson, not for nothing. I was like, I know they're moving him at a certain pace, but I was like, I think Jared Anderson, because he fights from the southpaw stance too, he would give AJ a problem right now. Like I said, I'm not going to disclose the people that I was talking to, but I told them, I said I would keep him away from Wilder because I don't know how he could take a Wilder right hand. I think he could take AJ's punch. But Wilder is a different level. But I think that he lands on AJ because we all know about the Tyson Fury stories about Jared Anderson. And he could box. He moves around. And after watching him in Toledo, Ohio, right, I always was a fan. But Toledo, Ohio made me more because I seen he got clocked a couple times in that fight. And I seen he had a sturdy, what guys would like to say, a granite chin. And I think he could take AJ's punch. But I don't think AJ could take the lumber that young bull is landing. And I spoke with some people about that. And they was in agreement with that. That he might could do something with AJ. Because to me, AJ, 2 fights in with Derrick James, I think he's stuck in his ways, bro. His defense is just suspect to me. He's like, you know, it's like, and I quote the great Bob Arum. He's a one-trick pony, man. He's like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, bro. It's like, I don't care who he brings into camp. Like, it's just, he is at that age, like the man is a 2-time world champion already, Olympian. Was it a gold medalist? It's like dude is stuck in his ways, man. It's like you're not gonna switch him up because he was getting touched up tonight from a guy that wasn't even letting his hands go. You know, a guy that was in there after he just had a fight last week, and it showed because he was like, I wish to be honest, after looking how AJ looked after the fight, how he was like touched up a little. I wish what's name would have won out on the Shield. I know y'all saying, what do you mean? He did go out on the Shield. He got flatlined with that right hand. No, he didn't let his hands go enough for me. Like, bro, you know you're going to lose. Go for it, though. You got nothing to lose, everything to gain. Because the 5th round was probably his best round right before he got knocked out. And that probably was the most assertive he was. And you see, like, AJ's nose was busted. That's what I'm telling you. I think Darren Anderson could do something with him right now, man. Tyson Fury mops the fucking floor with him. I know I heard Eddie Hearn say that shit. Listen, Eddie, you've been in the business long enough. Your father was in the business. You know, goddamn well, AJ will get the living crap beat out of him by Tyson Fury. If the Gypsy King is still the Gypsy King that could move and box, man, that fight will be terrible for him. Terrible for him because he's too robotic, man. His head is on the line. And one thing I know about Tyson Fury, if he's still Tyson Fury that can move and groove and do the things he does with his trainer, my guy, look, my guy, you know, I gotta, you know, pull my seats up. Cause look, my guy, right? Like, who's your guy? My guy. Look, this is my guy. Look what he said. My guy.
Yes, this is Source Talk. Showtime Shanewz Midi. Say I got the man himself, Mr. Sugar Hill. First off, champ, thank you for your time. This man needs a little introduction.
Sugar Hill on Sauce Talk.
That's right.
To Crunk brings the funk, man. Emmanuel Stewart living through his nephew right there, Sugar Hill. Yes. Crunk brings the funk, man. That man right there, another great coach that doesn't get his accolades, will put in a game plan and he will break down Rock'em Sock'em Robot. And I love that drop that he gave me. You know, when you get generic drops like that, I didn't tell him to do that. He just did it. You see how magical it was? But I just think Sugar Hill is old school, man. He watches tape. He's a trainer's trainer, a teacher's trainer. He came up underneath his uncle, man. Rest in peace to the late, great Manny. Yes, Emmanuel Stewart, man. You know, I love Emmanuel Stewart. Emmanuel Stewart like to have a daiquiri or two. He was probably one of the best analyst commentators of the HBO times, man. Because when you get somebody that does play-by-play analyst and commentating that actually knows fighting and knows what they're watching and can break it down, that's why I love Roy Jones. I love when Roy Jones does it, man, because these guys know shit. Where, you know, you got a lot of guys that don't know shit. And I quote the great, yes, you heard me say the great, Leon Muhammad, the OG. You don't know a fish hook from a left hook. These guys don't know a goddamn fish hook from a left hook. But when you get guys that know what they're watching and break it down, man, I suggest that. Go back into the votes and listen to some of the many fights that Emmanuel Stewart called on HBO in the HBO days, man. Him, Larry Merchant, and Jim Lampley. Man, and let me tell you something. Look, I'm gonna give away some sauce for y'all for free. I remember being in Atlantic City as a youngin', you know, and watching Emmanuel Stewart. Emmanuel Stewart used to like to get a sip on, and I used to see this, right? And I used to be like, man, this dude is tipsy. You know what I'm saying? But he would call the hell out the fight. Like, yo, he was tipsy, bro. Like, I would see him throwing him back in the casino and all that, and then go on air and call a fight like just not. See, when you got it, man. See, a lot of guys don't have it, man. Rest in peace to the late great Manny. And I just think that Tyson Fury, like I said, if he's still Tyson Fury, because we haven't seen him since the Wilder fights and all that, but if he's still anything remotely of that Tyson Fury, he will embarrass the that man. You know what I'm saying? Because he could box, man. When you could box, man, you would do what Bud Crawford did to Earl Spence, man. Not saying Earl Spence can't box, but it's levels, bro. It's just levels, man. When you know what you're looking at, and you see what I use as my my thumbnail. Shout out to Bob Arum for co-signing what I told y'all about Earl Spence was gonna get his ass. So he only fought 2 southpaws, man. You don't have listen. If you know boxing, and I'm not saying that because I feel like I know boxing, but I've just been around it so long. When you see a fighter that only fought 2 southpaws, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know these things, man. They kept him away from southpaws, man. So you say to yourself, it's just like, don't be incompetent. Be somewhat educated. Like, do the math. Like, damn, this man had 28 fights. The same way you do the math about him being a world champion with 3 belts and all that shit, right? Do the math on that. Like, damn, why out of 28 fights he only faced 2 southpaws? Why? Why the biggest fight that he was going to face was a southpaw? He went into that fight getting beat up and sparring because he was getting southpaw work and had a torn retina. But see, you guys don't think about that. Not only do you not think about it, you're so programmed to not even research that. But thank you to Fight Hub TV for doing that interview and acknowledging my comment. Because I said, damn, Bob got me looking like a genius. But Bob, still sharp with his age, he said 38 fights is 28 fights. But 2 fights. So that's 1 in every 14 fights. They said, all right, we'll give him a southpaw. And you got to think about it, right? For those of y'all that are boxing connoisseurs, right? The 2 southpaws that he faced, one was the Chris Van Horn guy, right? The other one I can't think of right now. But when you compare their skill level to Terrence Crawford, it was a disaster waiting to happen. So when I said that he was going to get beat up, embarrassed, I was not surprised. I'm probably going to watch that fight again tonight as I watch these other telecasts, you know. But yeah, man. As I digress, man. As I digress, man. We got fights on tonight, man. Let's enjoy these fights. And the good thing about the UK, right? That's why I like when the fights are on in the UK, depending on what region you are in, the East Coast, Eastern Standard Time, Midwest Time, West Coast Time, you get to watch fights starting in mid-afternoon. Man, and that's like the best. Like that's why I rushed home, man. Like I said, I was out there at the community day, enjoying the activities and all of that. Watching the I was watching the parade on the phone. Like I said, salute to the front liners out there, man. Great content for those out there. For those that wasn't out there, that could have been out there, you missed out, bro. That was history. That was history. I'm smacking on some salsa and some chips, my bad. Yeah, that was history, though, because what Bud Crawford accomplished, 2-time undisputed, like they're going to party tonight. They're going to party, they're going to celebrate. But to have that parade downtown Omaha, you know, the victory celebration. And I want to share this, something that Stone Cold said, right? And it touched me because what he said, every kid that grows up in those type of circumstances can relate to. He said, a lot of times when you're a young kid growing up in the inner cities, look, I'm not even going to disrespect Omaha. Omaha is an inner city because every city has a ghetto, a hood, and all that. On the north side, a lot of the guys that you aspire to be like when you grow up in those type of neighborhoods that have the nice cars, the women, the jewelry, and all these things, a lot of times they are into illegal activities. They are into stuff that could get you prison, get you deaf, get you all kind of stuff that is not conducive to society. But to watch Terrence Crawford come from that and become, fuck what you guys are talking about, a mogul. You see, I didn't say a million. He's a mogul. The man owns property, does everything. Put a B&B structure, gymnasium, community center in the heart over there. Now that kids could grow up and see this and say, man, and like they say, he's still in the community, in the YMCA, down there in the gym, and they could touch him and see him and say, man, I could be like Terrence Crawford one day, right? You guys will get on here, and I'm not trying to make this about him and Earl Spence and none of that, but you guys will get on here and talk about Earl Spence, who is a liar, who is a wicked individual, who's a foul dude, but yet somebody that is doing worldly type things, you will condemn and talk down on. Last time I checked, Bud Crawford wasn't arrested for a DWI. Bud Crawford's name wasn't tied into all kind of street type activities, but yet he was cast down and talked and shamed. Whereas the latter, it is what it is, right? Like I said, hopefully y'all caught that source. And like I said, if you don't like my views, get lost. Get lost. Because as you can see from the content that I put out, I'm going to be all right. I'm going to be all right. I am well loved and respected in my community. I do a lot of things in this boxing, whether it's media and other things behind the scene. I am growing as far as a heavy equipment operator. Like I was looking into buying some heavy equipment now. Remember I was telling y'all I wanted to buy trucks and shit. Since I've been operating heavy equipment, I'm like, man, do I want a truck now? Or do I want to purchase a loader? Do I want to purchase some heavy equipment shit, some demolition type shit, and try to get some of those type of contracts? You know? Bid on some of those type of contracts. Because now that I know how to operate this stuff, you know? Like, just think about it. As I digress, I want to share this with you. Had I had some of the qualifications that I had now, when we had those hurricane cleanups and all that, when we had the tornadoes and all that touch down here, I was running trucks. But if I was the guy loading the trucks, I probably could have bought about 3 more properties. Real talk. The type of money that we was making with the overtime, if I was operating loaders and heavy equipment with all that overtime money, that's the type of time I'll be on, man. But listen, these fights is about to start. Let's enjoy these fights. Let's enjoy this boxing. And like I said, salute to all the frontliners that was out there in Omaha, man. Appreciate y'all. Y'all give the bloggers, you know, because that's what I'm doing right now, blogging. Y'all give us something to gossip about, you know, because that's what the YTC is. You see, today I took it easy. I didn't go in on my crash dummy boxing talk. But that's all it is. It's a bunch of gossiping ass niggas. Real talk. And you guys get mad or jealous over doers when you could do it your goddamn self. But when you don't do it and all you do is talk it, you tend to get a little jealous. Because, like I said, that Rick Glacier interview was a gem. And I thank WCS for him allowing me to be a part of that. Because contrary to whatever you do think of the man or speak about the man is an actual doer. The man is a doer. You know? The man is a doer. Like, a lot of people get on here and talk this shit, but what have you actually done? That's why I made that my emphasis to be like, run down a little bit of your resume. Because I actually had the ability to talk to somebody that could, you know, do what I love to say. Show me your work. Show me your work. And then the things that he was running off, you know, getting Simon Brown, a fight that led to him getting the title shot against Bernard Hopkins that he didn't win, but he put him in position. And in life, or as somebody that's behind the scenes in boxing, that's what it is about. Positioning your people or your fighter or whoever your client, getting them into position to have an opportunity. Hopefully you caught that source. And for those of y'all that be talking about me, right? I have receipts that I have done some of the things that Rick has talked about. Don't believe me? Pull up the receipts.
Well, stick to yourself, man. You won't let yourself down. Somebody else can let you down.
So sorry.
Jai, how did the connection with you and Jay Prince happen? Did Jay Prince call you one day and say, "Hey, it's Jay Prince"?
And so, all right. I'm gonna sum up the story. Basically, Jackal Fitness, right? One of the guys who, he like a media, all the underground media. You feel me? Go around, So he knew Mike Prince, Mike Prince, Jake Prince, their family. So now, tell Mike Prince about me. Then boom, Mike Prince, he followed me on Instagram. He see all my stuff. All right, cool. We get to the gym. I'm on the phone with him. This is like a week before COVID. You remember when Shakur was supposed to fight the guy who fought Loma? This is right before COVID started. They're supposed to fight like March 13th. I forgot.
Speaking of the big elephant in the room, man, you sound.
With that being said,
speaking of the big elephant in the room, man, you signed with Top Rank. Mm-hmm. Give me a little backstory as to how you even linked that up, man. At 17 years old, signing with Top Rank.
Shout out Jack.
How was that for you?
Shout out Jackal Fitness. That's the only answer I can give you. He made his cause. Shout out Mike Prince. Mike Prince got me in touch with Jay. Jay, like we saw, he got me in touch with Top Rank, and we made it happen. Mob ties. See me?
Hey, he just explains to you. There's no other way to explain it like that. Shout out to Jackal Fitness, man. Official in the game. I appreciate them. Solid group of brothers, man. I'm glad they was able to link you up, man. That's positive shit right there, man. It's good to hear that.
Oh, yeah.
Good video. Let's go.
Who is the hot topic? He's getting the knockouts, right? He's getting the knockouts tonight. Yeah, hard. That's right, man. You know the vibe. Yeah.
Yo, shout out to the Source Talk podcast. You already know the vibes. Jackal Fitness. This is Andrew in the Stewart Hotel Boxing Life. Let's go. Woo!
Yo, you know who it is.